live from Rio. My man, Marconi Award nominee, Dan Patrick. What's up?
Hi, bud. Congratulations on your nomination as well.
Congratulations to you as well. I said earlier in the show, I'm actually rooting for you to walk with this thing. I mean, I don't think people realize the amount of work, the amount of time, the amount of different universes you traverse, the amount of different networks you effortlessly go from one to the other. You're not like a bridge burner guy. People like Dan Patrick. How many different networks are you currently getting revenue from? How many different entities, corporate entities? You have DirecTV, NBC, right?
Yeah.
Sports Jeopardy.
Sports Illustrated, Sports Jeopardy. I think that's it.
All right, the Baskin Robbins? White Castle? Nothing?
No. Not yet. I'd love to get a White Castle endorsement, but no, not yet.
It just speaks
Always
volumes.
Working on some kind of grill or barbecue or ribs or something like that. So.
Yes. Speaks volumes to your character, my friend, that people want to house you and be with you, myself included. Dan, you are in Rio. Did you have a knot in your stomach at halftime? U.S. men's team goes down by 5 to Patty Mills, Matthew Dellavedova, and Bindi Irwin. That had to be a little uncomfortable, or did you think we had it the whole time?
I thought it was great, though. I want to see him tested a little bit. And I think the fascinating part is actually going to be in 4 years when you realize how great Australia is going to be when they, Ben Simmons will be playing for him more than likely. Exum, Dante Exum is going to be playing for him. They have a chance. Thon Maker, the 7-footer. So they have a chance to actually be a really competitive team in 4 years. The problem is I don't know if anybody can compete with the U.S. The rest of the tournament. Australia played well, and I think the United States sort of figured that. But it was fun to watch. It was fun to see them test a little bit, grind it out a little bit.
If this team had lost yesterday, Dan Patrick, on the Dan Patrick Show via telephone in Rio de Janeiro, who would have taken the blame? If you're from New York, you're going to take it all out on Melo. If you're from California, you're going to blame Boogie Cousins. If you had the headline, if you were writing the article, whose fault was this debacle had they lost?
Well, I can't blame Melo. He was brilliant. Kyrie played well there when they needed him to, but I think everybody else would kind of have to shoulder that. Klay Thompson hasn't done anything. He looks, out of sorts there. I think sometimes you wait for the other guy to do something, you sort of defer, and that can be dangerous because then you don't get started. And I think that happened last night. It was basically Melo, a little bit of Kyrie, and then they looked up and go, we're in trouble here, and nobody could really get going. Durant a little bit last night, late, but it's a different team. I think, if you have LeBron and Steph Curry, then I don't think we're having this conversation. But they don't, and I think they're saying that, Melo's our leader, but I don't know if that's really the role that he's comfortable being in.
Dan Patrick, when you look towards a Michael Phelps and his 22 gold medals and the just curb stomping of a guy named Chad from South Africa, it's I don't know if in context as Americans we're realizing the amount of gold medals 22 is. In Rio, are other countries looking at Michael Phelps like a god? Is he just a walking made man?
Yeah, but it's now shifted, I think, to Katie Ledecky. I think that's where the fascination is because she's still the youngest member on the team. She hasn't hit her prime, which is probably in 4 years, which is scary. But to look at what Phelps and Usain Bolt have been able to do to be at that level for 3 Olympics now, that's what's incredible because we can see it pass you by. Gabby Douglas used to be the leader of the women's gymnastics team. Missy Franklin was the star 4 years ago in London, and now they're afterthoughts. So that's what's incredible, and to see these basketball players coming out just to see Michael Phelps, that's pretty remarkable. And I think he's finally enjoying this, which, as he admitted, it took him a long time to kind of embrace it. He's the father figure. He's the godfather of this Olympics team, and I think they all look up to him, admire what he's been able to do.
You say it's remarkable, Dan Patrick, who's joining us on the Dan Patrick Show, live from Rio. What's remarkable is that just off the top of your head, you just dropped gymnastics knowledge unprepped. That is Dan Patrick, ladies and gentlemen. Just gymnastics, pommel horse, uneven parallel bars, basketball, swimming. You can't phase them. They write rap songs about you. You can't be faded. Well done.
Well, it's amazing the amount of research you can do. It's like cramming for finals, and then you forget what you were cramming for, and then 4 years from now, I'll do the same thing.
My man, Dan Patrick, you've always been kind, brother. That goes a long way, and I thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for sitting in with the boys there, Jay, and I'm proud of you.
Oh, wow, you're the best.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.